Alright, as we say goodbye to the first act of Evolution Worlds, we're gonna go look at the town. This is just before we went off to fight Eugene, but I didn't include this footage because it would have ruined the pacing, but we can look at it now.
Hey, what happened to Linear? Oh, I get it. She finally left you. Or... oh no! You sold her to pay off your debt!
Of course I didn't. I'm too busy to stand here listening to your dumb jokes.
I don't see Lydia with you. That beautiful girl's Chain's new rival, isn't she? You little devil! Poor Chain doesn't stand a chance against a beauty like that.
Darn it! The 8th Imperial Army soldiers went home! I didn't get a chance to meet the prince! How are the prince and I ever going to have a romantic love affair across social boundaries now?
Now that the Imperial troops are finally gone, I wish my baggage would hurry up and get here. The Empire's ships filled up the port. No civilian ships can dock, and so I haven't gotten any of my baggage yet. How could the Northrop Republic leaders sit by and do nothing while a foreign army takes over the port like that?
And lastly, I know what you're thinking, but no, we can't enter the milk bar. Mag just won't let us. He's right, this is no time to be looking at the milk bar, but it's also not time to be walking around the village talking to people either. So I think he has some more priorities to get checked. So now that we've explored the town for the final time, let's get on to the second item on our agenda. This is Evolution Eternal Dungeon on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. As far as I can tell, it's a fairly faithful port of the original game, and it has really expressive sprite artwork in place of the cutscenes. The dialogue is almost identical, though some concessions had to be made for the limited space on screen. As opposed to the original game, the town is navigated through a series of visual novel-style menus, which is an odd choice, but fits well for the system. Unlike the original Evolution, you can also save anywhere and talk to Linear to learn more about the various items in the game, though you can't choose which item you learn about, he just picks one at random. Almost everything else about the game is the same. You can change the battle formations around, and the battle system itself is nearly identical to the Dreamcast version, even if it is now full of English. Because it is based on the Dreamcast version of the game, it is also reasonably difficult, so if you wanted to play a really hard version of Evolution Worlds on your Neo Geo Pocket Color, I guess this is where you would go to, but I can see why no one would have the patience, and thus why there's no full playthrough anywhere. Third on our agenda is the original Evolution manual, which is in full color and looks absolutely gorgeous. It puts the Evolution Worlds manual to complete shame. Not only does it feature fairly comprehensive information about all of the characters and this setting, but it has some really damn nice illustrations just for flavor, some of which take up an entire page. You're not going to find incredible hidden secrets in the manual, but it's the kind of thing I would have loved to read with a game back when I bought it. They also include really detailed illustrations and graphs to explain how the battle system works, which makes sense because the battle system was pretty unique at the time. The combination of strategy gameplay with normal turn-based RPG mechanics was something they were very proud of, and you might not know that if you haven't read the manual or visited their official website. Speaking of their official website, guess what's still online? Surprisingly, the original Evolution website. Now, Google Translate, of course, isn't perfect, but we can pick up the gist of what they were saying for the most part. It's a surprisingly detailed website for the time period, and you can even see the names of the various sci-frames which aren't actually mentioned in-game. There's information about which time period the game takes place in and the general idea they were going for. Some parts of the site read like a sales pitch, which tells me they were very excited about what they were making. The character section reads almost exactly like it does in the manual, so good job on ESP for appropriately translating that. And perhaps the most strange part of the website, it turns out there was a live game of some sort played for promotion out in a town somewhere, and I understand this is a less weird occurrence in Japan, to have people dressed up as your video game characters and go around playing games with people. It says the loser played a punishment game, but there's no information on what that is. Lastly, there's a development log here for all the trials they went through making Evolution. They actually mention Baroque and how the game was originally meant to come out on the Sega Saturn. Not everything here can be understood because, again, Google Translate isn't perfect, but you can get the idea that they struggled a lot with this game, and that's probably why Evolution 2 turned out so much better. So that wraps up our look at the first act of Evolution Worlds, the original Evolution, and that was the intermission between the two acts. Next time we will pick up in the second act of the game, which is a lot better in a lot of ways. I'll see you then.